can draw this entire illustration in just 3 steps using Autodesk SKetchbook app, and we are starting off with a screen resolution of 2080 into 2860, and we are already hopping on to step 1, that is to paint the sky. For this we are going to have like a 3 set of layer, but we are going to start off with the first layer of adding multiple color of teal shade from the lighter to the darker shade, because we are just making our background a little bit more of like you are taking a picture of a sea with flower as your main element, and then you're just taking that bouquet lights around it, and it's just be mesmerizing for you as you're going to illustrate. So once we are done adding the color using coarse watercolor brush, we're using blending brush to slowly blend across from top to bottom, and we are not doing any other action in this layer. We are just going to blend the base layer, and then we are going to add new layer for the wave layer. If you look on the right side of the illustration, you can see there is a new layer added. I'm just going to add wave from darker shade to the lighter shade, and we are using wash brush to slowly brush it across it. So we are not smudging our base layer, but rather we are smudging our wave layer, and once done we will be adding few more shadows, and then we'll blend it all across together. So I'm just slowly smudging from inside to outside by just blending in the color, and then once done I'm just making sure that everything kind of look like a wavy structure. Hope that makes easier, and also this is in 8x speed, so make sure to use your sweet time while you illustrate. Once done, I'm just going to use a flow air brush and then pick the darker shade, and then slowly going to cover the entire layer because I feel like it needs a little bit of depth. And once I've done adding this, I'm going to blend or merge both the layers. Once the shadow is been added, we are just going to bring both the layer, merge both the layer, and then we are going to slowly blend it across using the wash brush again. So adding this kind of make it look a lot of task here, but just wait till we get to the finish of the sea layer because that looks absolutely stunning. So now we are smudging this around, so we are not going very harsh on this layer but slowly blending the edge of the wave into the sea portion. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm kind of, if you look in the middle bit, I'm blending the lighter into the wave layer so that it's look like a not two separate layer but just one single layer or one layer of sea itself. So once we are done, we are going to the most easy bit of this entire illustration, that is to add bokeh light, which is my favorite. We're just going to use a glow neon pen or glow brush from our glow set itself. And then we are just going to dab it across in a form of bokeh light. So imagine on the wave, right? Usually the sun rays will fall and then you will have this all flashiness out of it. So if you're taking a photo, keeping an object as center and then making sure that behind of this object look like a very blurry bokeh effect, that's what we are making it here. Also, I came across this illustration in Pinterest and I fall in love with, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to try this in digital art, and here I am doing it my best to bring everything. So I'm picking the white color and the blue color from the sky layer, and then I'm slowly kind of putting across the entire layer, and then once we are done, we can actually increase the size of the bouquet and make it look like it's more of realistic here. Of course, now you will question me like, why did we spend so many times, so many hours in just blending our sea layer, whereas now it is completely blended in the bokeh effect. You don't have to worry because the final bit of this illustration is extraordinary. So now on to the show topper, which is to paint the flower. So we are using fountain pen, and then slowly I'm going to add so imagine you're just drawing a smile but with the extended edge, and then we are using our free hand to add this curvy structure for petal. Then add 3 sets of color. One is the lighter shade of red and one is the darker shade of red, and with the help of blending brush we are going to slowly blend this across. The entire illustration, if you have seen the final image, you can see there are 3 flowers, but it's actually just one flower copy and paste in a different way. And once we are done blending it from top to bottom, make sure you smudge the lighter shade on the top and the darker shade on the bottom. Once we are done, we are just going to use flow airbrush to add the depth in the flower because I like how this look. And then we are slowly going to add at the bottom and on the curve of those petal. Of course, you will add one more layer behind the main layer so that it looks like a realistic flower, but I felt like this is absolutely divine. So I'm not going to make any more mess with the flower, and then I'm going to slowly smudge across the edge. And once I'm done, we are going to hop onto the stem here. So for stem, I'm going to add a new layer, and again use fountain pen, add a straight line, and then add two color here. One is the lighter, one is the darker shade, but for now we are starting off with the lighter color, and then we are using blending brush to slowly blend it across. And then once we are done, we are just going to use floral brush to add the shadow to stem itself. So this actual illustration, right, once when it is done, we'll get at the point where the time you spend on C, the time you spend on the bouquet, everything comes to answerable for yourself. So take your time, and once you are in the weekend, you'll definitely want to do something as your hobby. So make sure you try this, share me on your Instagram, tag me along. I'll be happy to see, share it with my community here, and we'll have a very good development of our community. So now that we have finished off with our flower layer, we are just going to merge the two, and then we are going to add a bud layer. One bud which is like in a form of S, and another bud which is like a form of straight. So this is like a finally developing stage, and one is almost at the edge where it's just going to bloom anytime. So we start off with a lighter color, and then we are adding the darker color to the edge, and then leaving the lighter color as it is. And then we are going to use a blending brush to slowly blend it across. Then we are using flow airbrush to add the shadow, to add the highlight of this. And once we are done, we are going to almost to the last step, that is to add one more bud, and then the rest is history. So what we are going to do, we are going to do the exact same way for the another bud, but this time it will be kind of elongated one, like it is slowly developing. Okay, so we are slowly giving a little tiny curve, and then we are adding a bud on top of it. And again, like I said, we'll have a darker shade, lighter shade across the stem, and then we are slowly going to blend it across, and then we are going to use flow airbrush to kind of slowly bring the entire illustration to life. Hope you guys are enjoying this illustration so far. Let me know what you want me to draw in the next of illustration. I would be happy to accommodate. And also thanks for all of your support. If you have not yet subscribed, make sure to click the subscribe button down below, because there's so many interesting things going to come up in this channel. I'm going to develop a community where we feel welcomed, and will we feel kind enough, and where we feel develop ourselves on our day-to-day basis. Now the magic part, you're just going to copy, revert, and paste. That's it. We are going to do same for our another flower, and then for the same bud. So hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to my newsletter, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. So many interesting things are coming up. Make sure to enjoy your life as well. See you all in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Have a great life, and see you all soon.